Welcome to the Yet to Be Titled podcast with Mike and Darren. And now, here are your hosts, Mike Odell and Darren Cox.
All right. Video's rolling.
We rolling? We ready to go? So, this is, what is this? This is episode, are we going to call it like the episode numbers or
Well,
like
I don't know.
the
We
date?
can. We totally can.
This is episode 1?
Episode 1, Mike and Darren podcast, or the Darren and Mike podcast,
Well,
whatever we decide.
Yeah, I mean,
We could put it to a vote and I would win.
well, it's because, well, look, all right, so we could, I don't know, I'm going to close this so I don't keep looking at this.
Okay,
This
for
is really
people
gonna
who
distract
can't
me.
see what Mike, he just closed something.
Yeah. All right.
Well, good evening. I'm Darren.
I'm Mike. Thank you for doing that right when I was in the middle of taking taking a drink there. So, okay, so we've got a total of like, what, 3, maybe 4.5 people listening to the first.
Who's the
first
half
one?
person that you're speaking of?
Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Charlie's listening?
I think he
So
will be. Yeah,
watch your
so
language.
let's
Okay,
keep it clean.
fantastic.
All right.
But-
So, okay, so we said we weren't going to talk about why we're doing this or what this is.
Okay.
But I think we probably should.
Sure.
So I wanted to do a podcast, and so I mentioned it to you.
Right.
Because I listened to us talking and it sounded crazy and
Right.
insane.
Right.
And I wanted to document this.
Right.
I don't know what for. I have a feeling a lot of this is going to be edited out.
Okay.
Because I'm just going all over the place.
That's totally fine.
You have a list of things here.
I wrote, well, I posted on my Facebook page that you and I were going to do this.
Yes.
And I said, are there any stories you'd like to hear? Are there any topics you'd like to discuss? And so if we do happen to run out of things to talk about, we can always go to the page here. So we can totally do that or not. It's our podcast.
All right. Well, what's happening to you since the last time I saw you 24 hours ago?
One of the things I wanted to talk about is I went to get some beer. I got some brought to you by Corona, this podcast.
Yeah.
And I
Thank you for getting the light.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I bought my beer with a mask, and while I'm waiting in line, I'm thinking, I wonder how many underage people are buying beer with masks and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Totally possible.
Yeah.
But, me, you can see the gray hair popping out from underneath the mask. And of course, I'm lurched over, and it's hard to carry the beer at my age.
Why are you lurched over?
Because I'm old. I'm 50.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
50.
Okay.
But anyway, that was one of the things I was speculating.
So did you see any underage people with masks in there trying to buy a beer?
No.
No. You just had this fear that you might be
but what
mistaken for a younger person.
Oh God, I haven't been mistaken for a younger person in 30 years. No, there's one person operating the register who I believe was underage, because if you're underage, you can't scan beer.
Right.
And he says, sir, you'll have to go to the other register. And he instantly could tell that he wasn't going to be able to ring me up. But so no, I don't know.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
You're just sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So why have you wanted to do one of these? I mean, what podcast do you listen to, or what?
I
what
listen
made you...
I listen to Film Junk. I listen to Giant Bombcast and The Morning Stream.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I wanted to do this is because we have been sitting at Scouts for a long time,
Right?
Just having conversations.
Right.
And when I like, there was a moment when we were talking, and it reminded me of portions of some of these podcasts. And I thought, I think there may be somebody out there just crazy enough to want to listen to this.
Well, let's back up for a little bit.
Yeah.
For people, there's going to be a lot of people who listen, who know you, who don't know me, and people who know me who don't know you.
That's right.
Mike and I, your oldest son and my youngest son are really good friends.
Yes.
And they met in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it called? The thing. Yeah.
The kinder thing.
The
yeah.
kinder place.
Well, you can't. Oh, wow. There's going to be a lot of editing, Mike. So that's how we met, because of our kids. That's one of the things about, when you're single, your friends are single, right?
Yeah.
When you start dating, most of your friends are dating. Usually go as couples.
right.
When you get married, your friends are married, and then when you have kids, your friends all have kids. That's just the cycle of life, how it goes. So that's how we met.
Yes, absolutely.
And so Mike and I, we've been friends now for how long? 8 years.
I don't know, because you got to go through that point of where it's just because you have to be friendly
right
to the other parents, but you're not necessarily friends with them.
right
So you're like standing
Right.
there at the kindergarten dance thing, and they're dancing, and you just kind of look over and you chuckle at the look at the kid,
right
and
right
the other guy chuckles, and then your wife ends up talking to somebody's wife, and then
Right.
you're paired with that person, and you have
Right.
to stand there and entertain them, or in my case, annoy them to entertain yourself, which is normally what I do.
I think that's what happened, because my wife Libby ended up started having a conversation with Bess. I think because of the one play date.
Yeah, and I looked over and I'm like, okay, all right.
You and I
who's
had that
this
look
guy?
like, kill me.
Yeah. And
Get me out of this.
I think between the two, I'm going to be friends with this person or I'm going to annoy this person for my own amusement. I think you started out in the I'm going to annoy this person for my own amusement. But that is where 99.9% of people reside, is in the I'm going to annoy them for my own amusement. And I can't remember what.
So the first time you met me, you were convinced I was going to annoy you.
I
We're
was
learning
right.
things already on this, but we're 2 minutes into this.
Yeah, I was right. I was right. Well, we have to edit out. We have to. We have to edit out the 4 minutes where we just stared at each other for a while, having no idea what to talk about.
Right.
But no, and then I don't remember what I said. I said something, and you were sarcastic right back, and then boom, that was it.
Right.
So then we became buddies, and then with the I'm pointing. This is great podcasting. Is pointing to things that people can't see.
This is a visual, folks.
Avengers,
visual.
The Avengers movie. We started talking about those things,
Right.
and then it was all downhill from there,
Well, I think,
or uphill, however you want to say it.
I remember Andrew had a birthday party, and it was at the museum center. It was a train party thing. It was a train theme.
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah,
So we were
yeah.
at the museum center,
Yeah.
the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Yeah.
And I think you had. Well, no, you had, because you saw it. You had started following me on Facebook.
Like a stalker.
Right.
Yeah.
As adults do. It's like,
Yeah.
you know. So I had written a joke because U2 had decided to give away their album with the newest iPad. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and then it was just a giant mess. I mean, people have never been so just violently upset over free music in my life. And I wrote on my Facebook page, I said, wow, you never realize how much people hate you until you try to give away a free U2 album.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, Mike, that you were like, you had Bono's blood in your blood.
Yeah.
And you pulled me aside. Darren, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the joke you made about U2. And I was like, it's just a joke.
Well,
I actually like them. I've got the Joshua tree, Mike. Don't hurt me.
So I was about to forbid my son to ever talk to your son again, because I had to know where you stood on this, because I take music very seriously, and I take my favorite band too seriously. I think I've told you that if it doesn't matter what they record,
you're buying.
I'm contractually obligated to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple copies, by the way. If you really want to go down the rabbit hole, next time you come over, I'll show you here's the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary.
Right.
And then you'll probably ask the same question.
Same songs,
but really cool echoey thing on this one. And then I have 3 copies. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole here. I have 3 copies of The Unforgettable Fire.
Uh-huh.
Scratch that. I have 5 copies of The Unforgettable Fire. I have the 30th anniversary deluxe CD set that has a DVD of the tour where Bono's wearing his jacket with the frills. You remember back in the fringe? The leather fringe.
I thought that was Rattle and Hum.
Well, he did it then too. He really likes the leather fringe.
Okay, yeah.
And
then,
then,
if it looks good on you, do it.
And then
my wife can't quite do the fringe.
Yeah, well, I did once, but I think it was like first grade. It was all the rage.
Right.
But and then my now wife, then girlfriend, bought me the vinyl Unforgettable Fire, which I didn't have a record player then, so it was just kind of a thing to like hang on the wall or whatever. And then I have the CD, of course.
Right.
And then I got the vinyl for the re-release that just happened a little bit ago, and one of the tracks had a skip on it, and that's always bugged me.
Yeah.
And then they re-released it again, but the vinyl is wine colored, which is a funky way of saying the red that is on the Unforgettable
I was going to say
Fire.
white wine or red wine.
Red wine.
Okay, yeah.
So now I have all those copies of it, and the only one that I ever really play around with is the wine-colored vinyl. So, you would say, why do you have all the other copies still? I can't throw away the one that was given to me.
Right.
The one with the scratch is black vinyl.
Right.
I can't throw that one away because
Right.
I want to be able to say that I have the like pure vinyl version.
Right.
I can't throw the wine away because that's the only one that actually works.
Right.
And then I can't throw away the CD because there's always that thing in the back of my head. You've got the crazy audiophile people,
Right.
the ones that say records are the ultimate and
Right.
CDs are terrible. And then you've got the other crew,
I like
which you're
CDs.
in there, is the
I
CDs.
still buy CDs.
I like CDs better than vinyl
Why are you whispering?
because I feel like it. I feel like I'm
because
like
there's a microphone.
People freak
Here.
out when you say that.
Right,
People
right.
freak out when you say that.
Yeah.
So in these weird chat rooms that I go to, so I keep the CD because I know that the CD has more information on it than the vinyl has on it, and I know that
Right.
people freak out. And
Well,
if anybody, the people freak out about that, but I mean, it's true.
Well, I've told you the best thing about vinyl. The best part about albums.
Yeah.
Albums are perfect for people who like to listen to 3 or 4 songs and take a break.
That's right.
It's like, well, got to get up, got to flip it.
Yeah, and leaf through the artwork. I mean,
I do love the artwork.
Yeah.
Albums used to come with posters.
Yeah.
All the lyrics are right on the inside.
Yeah.
They made such an effort to give you your money's worth on an album.
Can I tell you something about the poster? The record store day that you ditched me on.
You invited me 20 minutes before. I have a life, Mike.
That's more than enough time.
Okay.
I got the Dune soundtrack because I'm weird, and it comes with a movie poster of the soundtrack, not a movie poster of the movie, but of the soundtrack.
Okay.
So I've got that thing to put up in the thing
In your thing,
in
yeah.
the basement.
Gotcha.
Yeah. A movie that nobody likes, not even me. I mean, I liked it when I was a kid, and I respect it, and I have like a cool version of it. But I never watched it.
I saw it, but I couldn't tell you one thing. Sting's in it, right?
Sting is in it, and the other guy,
directed by
David Lynch, and he decided
that guy's weird.
He didn't want to be associated with it, and then he did. No,
I respect David Lynch, but he is just so weird.
Yeah,
you've got to be in the right mood to go see a David Lynch movie.
I started watching Twin Peaks for the first time.
Never saw it.
Like a year or two ago. It's pretty. It's about what you would expect.
Yeah.
And then Lost Highway. I still don't understand Lost Highway. I haven't. I don't know if you saw that one with the president from the president from Independence Day, Bill Pullman.
No, but I did see. Was it Mulholland Drive? That was a David Lynch movie. There was one David Lynch movie where I watched it and I went into work the next day and I was so confused, and I'm telling my friends about it, and they were so confused that they intentionally went and were like, we have to see either Darren's really stupid, or this movie's really confusing. They came back the next day like, what was that?
Yeah, well,
and we spent hours. We're going on Google, looking in chat rooms, trying to figure out why the mysterious man in the cowboy hat was in the corner.
Yeah.
What's with the unicycle? Yeah, and we couldn't. And then
why is Kyle MacLachlan in every single David Lynch movie?
Yeah.
Which makes it even worse because you're watching one and you're expecting a worm to jump out and grab him,
right?
And then you go to the other one, you have no idea what the hell's going on. So,
right.
Yeah.
So we segued from U2 to David Lynch.
To Dune, yeah.
But no, you were talking about how you own so many different copies. Now, my favorite song of all time, and this is really going to tick you off because I know you hate it.
No, this is can I interject?
Oh,
this is the reason I wanted to do a podcast with you because of the arguments.
Okay.
Because I want them documented.
We only have 2. We've only argued about 2
about to
things.
have it. Go ahead.
And this is going to be our first one.
All right, here we go.
The Knack, My Sharona. It's my favorite song of all time.
Oh, boy.
Of all time.
Yeah.
So I have the album.
Yeah.
I have it on CD, and I have it on cassette. Now, whenever I go to a place that sells old records, whatever, I always go through the 8-tracks. Mm-hmm. And one of these days, I'm going to Get the Knack on 8-track, and I'll have it, and then I'll add it to my collection, and then my life will be complete.
That'll be it.
That'll be it. But now, my favorite group is a little band out of North Carolina called Southern Culture on the Skids.
Okay.
Many years ago, 12, 15 years ago, they released 345s, okay, on vinyl. I don't have a turntable.
Yeah.
I haven't had one. I'm 50. I haven't had one in probably 40 years, right? Yeah. I bought the 45s. They come in a little box set, 345s.
Yeah.
Never played them, but I own them.
That's how it starts. That's how it starts. That's how I ended up with it.
Why? Because I wanted them.
Yeah. You're going to end up that they're going to eat in the back of your mind.
Right.
And eventually you're going to get a turntable for them.
Maybe.
You will.
I have no problem with buying a turntable. I mean, I don't know where I'd put it, but I could find a place.
But once you do that, then
Then I'll have to start buying albums.
You will. You'll start small like I did. Well, I have to buy this one.
I mean, I don't know. I think I have 8 albums. I don't know, 9. I don't know. When I was a kid, I remember I was going through my mom's albums, and God, mom had some great stuff.
Yeah.
And she, I remember the first one I found was Dylan Greatest Hits Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where you stand on Bob Dylan.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am. The first song, I remember I put it on the turntable, dropped the needle on it, and the first song that I ever heard from him was Don't Think Twice, It's All Right.
Okay.
And I remember I was a kid. I mean, I was 8, 9, something.
Yeah.
And that song just spoke to me. And still, all these years later, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right is one of my absolute favorite songs. And now he's released some stuff that's weird. Yeah. He's released some stuff that's crap. He did Things Have Changed that won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Yeah. That's a great song. And I was really surprised that 40 years later, Dylan has still had it in him. So,
well, it's hard to. I would think that it's hard to keep that going for a long.
I don't know how people do it. I just don't know how you possibly do it. Like Springsteen, Born to Run.
Yeah.
And then 20 however many years later he releases The Rising, and every song on The Rising is just unbelievably great.
The Rising is the only song I've heard from that.
Yeah. So. It's like I just don't understand how artists just keep making it. It's like you too.
Yeah. Well, they're doing. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know.
What was the name of their last album?
Songs of Experience. It was a sequel to It's the follow up to Songs of Innocence.
Right.
The one that broke the internet and the world because they had
everybody.
They had the absolute gall to give it away. So
here you go. You know what? Screw you, Bono.
Everybody just said no to that. And I think, I don't know, then they went on their tour that we saw them on, the Joshua Tree tour. Well, they went on the tour for The Innocents, which I took my older son to.
I thought they did that after Joshua Tree.
No. That was the Experience tour. So they did the Innocents tour in 2015. That's when we went to Chicago.
Okay.
Me and my family, and I took my older son to that. He fell asleep. He made it through most of the concert. He fell asleep right before Where the Streets Have No Name.
Right.
And I didn't want to have to disown him. So I woke him up. I held his head so he could see Where the Streets Have No Name and hear it. And then he fell asleep right after that.
Give him a good shake.
This
is you too!
But no, the best part, I got to break this. The best part of the Chicago U2 story is that we were in the middle of Chicago, and there's buses that were picking up people to get them away from the arena. Because if there's one thing that all the organizers want, once the concert is over, is everyone to get away.
Go away. Yes.
And so buses were lined up. People were getting on them. And, the normal bus thing, you pull it whenever you want to stop. Right. So we're going through the middle of Chicago. A guy, me, from a pretty rural area. Right. To me, Cincinnati is like a big deal compared to where I grew up. And Andrew has only known anything, or my older son has only known anything but Cincinnati. And I pull the thing to stop because I see Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
And I want Dunkin' Donuts. I forgot my desire for Dunkin' Donuts overwhelmed the knowledge that it was 1:30 at this point in the morning. And so, I'm in the middle of Chicago, and we don't know how to get from Dunkin' Donuts to our hotel because we don't know where we are. And we go into Dunkin' Donuts, the whole thing. We get donuts. We get a bag of them,
Right.
and then we can't carry them to the hotel because we want donut. We want to eat them right then. So we sit on. I think it was a courthouse. I don't know what it was, but I'm in the middle of my second donut, and I noticed that we are surrounded by a lot of people at 1:30 in the morning, on the courthouse steps in the middle of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And me and Andrew, I keep using his name. I'm going to have to edit that out. Or should I keep it in there? I don't know.
I mentioned him earlier.
Okay. I'm going to, so we finished like the second or third donut, and then the parental bit, the responsible adult part that says, you shouldn't be in this place at this time.
Wait, you have a responsible adult part?
It's 3 donuts deep.
I have yet to see it.
It's back in there.
Okay.
We got up immediately, and we got the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody was really nice. I mean, nobody asked for a donut.
Right.
I would have given donuts had we not eaten all of them.
Yeah.
Right there in front of people who very clearly needed food. We made it back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And we lived, and it was wonderful. But anyway, they had that tour, and then the Joshua Tree tour that we saw in Louisville, and then in 2018 it was the Experience tour,
right,
that Bess and I saw in Washington.
Okay,
that was it.
Now, how many times have you seen them?
9
okay.
or 10.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, I've seen them once.
Yeah,
and
everybody should see them once.
Oh,
they're a great live band.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't like them, you should see them.
I was, I thought they would put on a good show. I didn't realize that they would put on a phenomenal show.
Yeah,
I was really, and the thing was, that's the greatest concert I've ever seen. And like a month before, I had seen Garth Brooks, and when my wife and I walked out, I'm like, well, that's the greatest concert I'll ever see. And I never thought that somebody could surpass that. And sure enough,
boom,
a week later, there you go.
Well, that's cool. That's what
cool.
They're a live band. Like same thing happened because I saw them in '97 on the Pup Mart tour, and a guy that went with the group the next day bought all their albums, which surprised me because I was like, I mean, I know you liked them, but I didn't know you liked the show. I didn't know you liked it that much.
Right.
But yeah.
Good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Good times. What else? What do we got on the list there?
Well,
this is for people in Facebook land.
Yeah. So my friends on my Facebook page, I mentioned that you and I were doing a podcast. Were there any topics that people wanted to discuss? And I'm a member of a juggling club. Some people wanted to talk, figured the whole thing would be about juggling. You don't juggle.
No.
But we can talk about juggling if you want.
I can talk about juggling all night long.
Well, look, here's my problem.
Yeah, with juggling?
Not with juggling. As soon as I tell somebody, I juggle,
they run away from you.
The first question. What's the first question that people ask when I say I juggle?
I asked you if you juggled fire.
Okay,
or did I say why? One of those two questions. Is the first one.
No. Well, if you're juggling, say you're juggling 3 balls, people say, "Can you juggle 4?"
Oh,
and if you're juggling 4, people say, "Can you juggle 5?"
Yeah.
If you're juggling 5, can you juggle 6? People are never happy with the amount of items that you're juggling. They're only happy if you can do one more, right?
Yeah.
But what everybody asks me, because I've posted videos on my Facebook page, I was juggling a plunger, a football, and a hammer, and people said, "Can you juggle chainsaws?" No, I can't juggle. I can't juggle chainsaws. I juggled a bowling ball. All right. And someone says, "Can you juggle a bowling ball and 2 chainsaws?"
Yeah.
No, they're not happy that I juggled a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Okay. I can juggle 3 basketballs, throw one in, and make a basket. Okay. 2 points, right? Yeah. Can you juggle 2 basketballs, make a point, and one of them be a chainsaw? No.
Yeah.
No, that's what they ask all the time. They constantly ask. And so, back before the whole world shut down, every Wednesday night, I used to go to St. Anne's Juggling Club with my buddies. And I met them, and I learned how to pass clubs back and forth. Yeah. Learned how to juggle fire. Yeah. And learned how to juggle 4 balls, 2 in each hand. So, I mean, I'm nowhere near the best. I'm not the best juggler at that club. I'm the best juggler at my TV station where I work. Yes, I'm the best juggler there. By God, I challenge anybody where I work to out juggle me.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Okay, so I would think that, I think people's hobbies, most hobbies have a practical like use,
right?
You know, like, so if you're like into archery or something, you could use that to like
hunting,
get food,
right,
or defend against the zombies.
Sure, if you're in your castle, people are attacking.
If you paint, you could use that. You could sell the paintings, or you could be an interior decorator.
You absolutely can.
If you are a juggler, though,
right,
I would think you would be really good in a situation where you're carrying a bunch of stuff down the stairs. Like, and that might be why people are asking you to juggle all these different things. They don't know what to do.
Right.
If they happen to be carrying a bowling ball and 2 chainsaws.
Right.
A kitten on fire or whatever. Have you ever juggled a living thing?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Can you do that? Is that a thing?
Well, sure you can. That? They frown upon it. Didn't you watch The Jerk? Cat juggling. One of the funniest scenes ever. Cat juggling. My buddy Bill, but when he's got 3 kids, a 4th one on the way.
Yeah.
And I believe with every child, he has juggled the child. You got it against your chest. You throw, and then you pass it across. And he's juggled all 3 of his children.
That's good.
And I'm certain he will juggle his 4th.
Yeah.
When she comes along. So
that's awesome.
But yeah. But outside of that, I mean, ladies love it. Girls are like, I'm looking for a really good looking juggler.
Yeah. I mean, do you really need to be good looking if you can juggle?
No, you do not. You do not. But outside of that, I mean, there's no practical thing, just besides it's fun.
Yeah.
So,
I have no practical hobbies. I can't really, none of my video games aren't really practical. I guess they kind of are.
Yeah.
Hand-eye coordination.
Oh, sure.
And that kind of stuff. But, I mean, I'm never going to use a PlayStation to defend the homestead against the zombies or sell something from it,
Right.
So I can't really, that's not going to be helpful.
But no, I both my boys love video games, and the double, I can't, I don't know. I'm not good at it. I'm just not good at it. Yeah. And then it's like, I try to play them and I'm dead before I even, get on screen, really. I'm like, is there a beginner level? And then they're bored to tears when daddy's trying to figure out how to jump. No, Dad, you jump and twirl and spin at the same time. And I don't know. I'm done. I haven't been into video games, I think, since Donkey Kong.
Yeah. So I still am a big video game person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone through the realization. So I've gone through the whole metamorphosis here with the kids not being able to do a thing with it, like just push up, and they're like lifting the controller up and not doing anything, not being able to do anything, and screaming and crying when the Mario falls off the thing, or they shoot the wrong thing and it blows up and they're dead, that kind of stuff. I've gone, and then they all of a sudden, it's like in the span of one night they can beat me at everything. So then I have to go to other things that they have no idea how to play. Which bores them to tears, and it doesn't impress them. And I think, what has my life come to? This 40-something years of game experience I have is impressing no one, not even the people closest to me.
Yeah, so. If my kids could put the effort they put into the video games into anything, I'm not going to say schoolwork, because schoolwork is boring.
What's the use of that?
School is boring, and I get it. Although they seem to like it more than I did.
Yeah.
But if they could put as much effort into like, let's say, cleaning the room, oh my God, or anything else, it would be amazing. But what do you do? What are you gonna do?
Well, so okay, what else we got on the list there?
So I work at WLWT. Commercial producer. Someone was saying that they'd like to hear some behind the scenes stories about commercial shoots. I've got a story that I want to tell. There's trampoline carrying tips.
Well, I have some.
Okay, then you go ahead, because I don't want to dominate this thing.
You don't want
to. I've learned that sometimes I have a tendency to dominate a conversation.
Yeah, no, that's
fine, and I don't mean to.
I've been waiting for you to shut up so I can. No, I think the trampoline tips, and I think this is caught on video. I think your wife caught it on video.
Yes,
is that if you've got, I think, what did we have? 8 people? Was it 8 people you conned into coming over?
Yeah,
6 people.
Yeah, we moved. We moved from our house to another house in the same neighborhood,
Yeah.
0.6 of a mile away.
Yeah.
And instead of disassembling the trampoline, me and 5 friends carried
Yeah.
the trampoline.
Yeah. So anytime you have 6 people carrying anything and you're one of the 6 people, you don't have to carry a thing. And that's what I learned.
You just walked, didn't you?
I did. And I even, because your wife, she was filming it. And I just turned around to her and I remember just like, hey, and they're still going for it, grunting.
Yes.
And I know probably because 1 or 2 of them weren't carrying anything. I think maybe only 2 or 3 of the people were carrying it.
My buddy Dave was in the front. He was about dead.
Yeah.
It darn near killed him.
Well, he should have gotten more sleep before he tried to help you lift that thing. But yeah, so I guess that's a practical tip.
So if you're ever moving,
yeah,
in your same neighborhood, just get 5 guys,
get a lot of people,
and just carry the trampoline.
Yeah,
I remember this. Do you remember that woman who drove by and she just completely stopped?
Yeah, and
she had her window down, and we asked her, "You want to jump on the trampoline?" And then I thought, boy, Darren, that sounded creepy. Yeah. Because she window up and sped off.
Yeah.
I know she thought it was funny.
Yeah.
As she called 911. But yeah. So that was great. That was great.
Yeah, it would have been even better if we had stopped and jumped on the trampoline.
We got somebody to jump on the trampoline. That'd have been great.
Yeah. So that's the tip, and I think that goes along with trampolines or anything that you're carrying is just walk next to it.
Exactly.
There's enough people.
Stand next to the strongest person.
It's the same thing as tug of war. As kids. Some of those kids aren't even holding the rope.
No,
I didn't. No. I barely held onto the thing because I see everybody else was. I don't know. This may shock you, but as a kid, I was a weak dude.
No.
Yes.
Shut up. Serious?
Yeah. Just a nerdy little weak dude. And I knew that. So you see all the strong kids get up there and they're pulling the rope. And I'm like, well, I'm just here to get the participation grade and go on with my life.
Right.
So at that point, all you got to do is be somewhere in the line.
Right.
And not be behind the clumsy guy that's gonna lose his grip and fall back and fall on top of you. That's it. Yeah. That's my tip.
Yeah.
Tug of war and trampoline carrying tips.
Yeah, good tip. Stand next to the strong guy.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what's the next deal?
My buddy Bill Hager, he was one who wanted to know about behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. So I make commercials, and you've been in 2 of the commercials I made. One for we did for SinFed Credit Union, and then no, that was for Kimba Credit Union.
Yeah,
we're gonna edit that. Oh boy, and cut.
Yeah.
One of the commercials I made was for Kimba Credit Union.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And the premise of the spot was, when you're buying a new home, they take care of everything from financing to this and this and this, and they walk you through it. And the people at Kimba are really cool with me, and the spots that I make for them are always like 95% serious, and then one little joke, right? Yeah. So for this particular commercial, I said, we can help you do this. The only thing we can't help you do is move. You're going to have to move that giant sectional couch by yourself. Yeah. So I got you and my buddy Dave to go over to my friend Sammy and Jesse's house. And Sammy, she had this giant sectional couch that
which was really light for some reason. It was supernaturally light. It looks heavy, and I know that I was acting myself out of it was an Oscar performance.
I mean,
thing was disturbingly light.
We had to shoot it again because I was laughing, and here I'm running camera and I'm laughing so hard.
There were
you bumped into a thing and you almost knocked over a vase, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I wasn't planning on it, but I added the sound effect of something breaking into the commercial. And I wasn't really planning on doing that.
I always assumed when I see commercials that it's on a soundstage or we were in somebody's house.
Yeah, we were in their.
They were just off camera. They're just hanging out. Like their kid, I think, was standing there eating toast or something. And then we're looking at this huge couch, and you're telling me that I need to act like it's really, really heavy. And like I said, I remember thinking,
you know why
that's going to be easy.
It's because you're so freaking strong.
No. That thing, I don't know what was in it. I don't know if it was filled with helium. I'm concerned about the structural integrity of that couch. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that was a cool thing. I mean, and then randomly, I thought, well, no one's ever going to see this thing. But then I would randomly have people come up at work and just kind of give me the side eye, and then give me the side eye again and say, have you ever been on TV? Mm-hmm. And of course I say no.
Right.
Because I don't feel like I've been on TV.
Because you're not in it for the fame.
That's right. I don't want all that pressure.
Right.
I want to be able to go to Target.
You just want to live your life.
I don't want
people... You just want to eat a meal and not sign autographs.
You know, I mean, you can't even go out and buy a bag of Doritos without people clamoring all over you to get your...
Hey, are you that couch moving guy?
The couch moving guy with the socks, which I didn't know my socks were going to be so apparent that I had ankle socks on. And I've never been so embarrassed to have the type of socks that I had. But no, I would tell him, yeah, I was in this commercial, but I don't feel like I was because I was just in somebody's house with my buddy with the camera. I've been in that situation many times, and thankfully it didn't end up on TV. so
what was going on?
There's just no need. We'll save that for the next episode.
Okay, all right. But no, when
the other one was we were in here. You and
your son.
Yeah,
were what was that one for? Oh, it was for a medical research study.
Yeah,
and
ferret allergies or something.
Yeah. So the age of the people that they were looking for were right around your son's age.
Yeah.
So I mean, and with those, I've made 4 or 5 spots for them, and basically we just do people just hanging around doing normal around the house things. So you were helping him with homework, and then you guys were packing lunches for the day.
Yeah, we were trying to act like we stand around and make sandwiches and talk to each other like
like a father-son should.
And I think, that was another thing that broke down this wall in my mind of what's going on in commercials, because you always see, like, when the voiceover guys, this is ferrets are endangered, whatever, and then people are talking, and you can't hear what they're saying. You just assume that they're talking about the endangered whatever.
Right.
But no, we were talking about how stupid this was that we had to converse with each other.
And I had to ask you, and what I do is I ask people to talk because there are people who read lips.
Yeah.
Who can tell that you're saying, this is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard of, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
So, we always make people talk about, like when I go to I shot commercial at a doctor's office.
Yeah.
And, we needed the doctor working with the patient, and the doctor's screwing around. And I'm like, well,
you've got the chlamydia. And he thinks it's funny.
Exactly. It's like, no, we need to ask, does it hurt when your elbow does this? And what about this? And okay, well, are you allergic to penicillin? Stuff that, doctors would ask, so that, because I try to make people as credible in the situation as we're doing.
Yeah.
But how many people recognize you from that? Because it ran
from the second one. The second one, I don't know if anybody's seen me. A lot of people saw the couch one.
Right.
I don't know that I think we actually saw the one in the doctor's office. Mm-hmm. I think that popped up on our TV.
Yeah.
And even then, I remember thinking, they're not really talking about anything, because I didn't recognize it as me. I recognized myself, but still, it's just weird.
When I've worked in TV for 27 years now.
Yeah.
And I started out at WJHL Channel 11. It's a TV station in Johnson City, Tennessee. And I had, oh my God, there's still people there who I worked with, who I love, and just so many great experiences. But the first time I was on TV, they needed somebody to be in a commercial for Bill McConnell Auto Painting. And this guy was famous for
auto painting.
Bill McConnell Auto Painting.
Yeah.
And he was famous for getting scantily clad women to pose and stand in his commercial, whether it's a tight skirt or he had people in bikinis one time and something else. And I'm like, and why am I going to be in this commercial? And I'm playing the dumb guy who brings his car in. And I said, wait, you said you could do this for $5.99 or however much. And so we shot the commercial. And he says, that's right, we make bodies beautiful. And this woman comes out, she goes, that's right, Bill. Because it's in Tennessee. And then I'm like, it's a deal. And we shake hands.
Yeah.
And Bill McConnell Auto Painting. Well, this commercial ran for years. I mean, like 3, 4, 5 years. And I mean, I would be at Gatsby's. That was the bar right down the street from the station, trying to get my beer. And it's like people are like, "How's Bill doing?" And I would explain to him, like, he's fine. I don't work for Bill. I just was just in the commercial. And I don't remember how long, but he ended up getting busted for tax evasion. So he was arrested for not paying taxes. And then that story pops up, and then all my friends say, "Hey, Darren, what did you think about this?" And then they link it to my commercial would pop up on social media again. Oh, it never went away, but I didn't want it to because it was a fun commercial.
Yeah,
and it was, like I said, one of the very first ones that I did, and it was fun, but it was fun being out and people recognize you.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
I'm not I did I did stand up one time at this place up in north of Dayton, and it was a good gig. $20.
Yeah,
20. They paid me $20 and gave me a $10 food voucher. But hey, that's more than I normally make.
Yeah.
So I was fine. It was paid for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, that's fine.
That's pretty good.
So I'm sitting there. I'm eating my food. After I
after you're not during your okay.
that was my set.
I was gonna say that really is a good. That
you
really
guys
is
like
a good
burgers
deal.
too. Yeah. So I'm eating. I'm in the back and I'm eating my food, and this guy walks over, and he just sort of keeps his distance, and he says, "Excuse me," and I said, "Yeah." He says, "I don't want to interrupt you, but you were funny as hell."
Oh,
and I'm like thinking, this is my chance. I wanted so bad to go, "Hey, do you mind? I'm eating here." But I said thanks, and I'm like, God, that was my chance. That was my chance. So I didn't do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But so another thing, somebody says that anytime you can have most embarrassing moments, that's a great thing to talk about on a podcast. Yeah. Mike, hit it.
Well, this might be my most embarrassing moment. I'm trying to think. I didn't even see. I saw these questions ahead of time. I didn't really think of very good answers to the most embarrassing moments because there's so many. I have a terrible moment.
Okay.
For my childhood that was great. Like most people would consider.
How does that make you feel, Mike?
Vulnerable. So I was playing in the neighborhood kids, and I found a bird's nest.
Okay.
It was on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it would be funny to put it on my head. And apparently I was right because you I just thought it would be a funny thing.
Okay.
There weren't any birds in it. There were bugs in it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to describe the bugs, but they were and I noticed that there were bugs because they were dropping down on my shoulders.
Uh-huh.
And then all the kids went from laughing, almost like you just did, to screaming and running. And then I had hair at the time.
Uh-huh.
And you don't.
For the record, Mike and I are both bald.
Yeah. I prefer shaved.
Shaved.
Yeah. Well, then I'm freaking out and trying to get this all out. So I don't know that would be embarrassing. That was just a horrifying story. I had a moment in 8th grade. I was a nerdy kid.
No.
Always followed the rules.
Okay.
Did everything I was supposed to do.
Okay.
So in 8th grade, somebody was spray painting penises all over the stalls in the boys' bathroom.
Okay.
And writing graffiti as you do.
Right,
you know, you got to give somebody something to read in there.
Right.
And the principal couldn't figure out who was doing it. So he knew it was somebody in 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
So he made all the 8th grade boys stand in the auditorium. And he gave this long speech about how inappropriate this was and how whoever did it should be ashamed, and that we were all going to stand there at attention until the person that's been spray painting these symbols, he didn't want to say penises.
Penis, right.
You don't want
you lose the crowd.
You don't want to stand in front of a middle school and say that word in any context.
I'm not actually comfortable saying penis now.
Yeah. Rarely am I comfortable saying it.
Right.
And he said, we're going to stand here until the person responsible for this comes forward. And at that instant, I passed out. And I lurched forward. I remember going forward, and I remember the kid in front of me elbowing me back, and
Uh-huh.
then I went back, and it just went completely out. And I woke up to the coach. I think it was the basketball coach. I don't know exactly what he coached.
Right.
He was about to give me mouth to mouth, which the more I've thought about that as I get older is really inappropriate. I don't know that you should give a kid and you should give anyone mouth to mouth just because they pass out. Can you do that for like a heart attack or something, don't you?
I don't. I'm gonna have to ask Libby. That's my wife, the nurse.
Apparently,
if you're not breathing, then yes.
Yeah. So I stole the principal's thunder. There was no way he could. His whole plan, his whole mastermind plan to have the guilty kid just like, okay, and be shamed into it because everybody's tired of standing was screwed up by the nerdy kid who passed out because he didn't have his Snickers that morning.
Right.
So.
Did he ever find out?
No, I found out. I know who did.
Okay.
And it's not because I had some super sleuth thing.
Hey,
it's
let's
just
give
I
it up
heard
right now.
people
Who was
talking.
it?
I can't tell. I
Martin,
don't want to give their name.
It's Martin Jackson, wasn't it?
He was close. It was his brother.
Oh. Well, I remember an embarrassing moment for me, and the thing that's embarrassing is that I told people about it. This happened at the house while I was home by myself. It was winter.
How long ago was this?
Oh, I was 12, 13.
All right. It was not the current house.
No.
Yeah.
12, 13, or 14 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm home from school. It's a snow day.
Yeah.
And Mom wanted me to clean out the pantry. It was one of my chores for the day. And so I'm going through the pantry, and I find a can of tomato paste.
Yeah.
And the top of it had bubbled up.
It's botulism.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Sure. Well,
is that the word? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know that there was botulism in there per se, but I remember my science teacher had said, if you ever find a can that's done this, don't try to open it because there's too much pressure in there and it'll explode. And I'm thinking, cool, I'm going to make this can explode. Yeah. So I go and I get my BB gun and I go outside.
Well, at least you took it outside.
Oh, yeah. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I take it outside and I put it on the wall of our back patio. Okay. And then I stand 4 feet away, 5 feet away.
You'll put your eye out.
And with the BB gun, with the one that I had, you're only supposed to pump it 10 times. So I pumped it like 150 times. I'm just like ready to go, right?
Yeah.
And I line up the scope and I'm staring at the can. I pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I open my eyes and I'm covered
in
tomato paste.
Okay.
In tomato paste.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Rancid tomato paste.
Tomato paste.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I had a white t-shirt and sweatpants on.
Of course
I threw those away.
Yeah.
And I turned around and look, and there's like a
little kid outline, a little
like
kid.
when the coyote would run through the wall. There's like the outline of my body there. And it's winter, so all of this is starting to freeze to the wall and to our door.
No.
And I'm out there, you are an idiot. And I'm like using hot rags and I'm washing off all this tomato paste. And like I said, I could have just never told people.
Yeah.
But I told them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now it's one of the where you go, Steve Farrell. There's your request. There's your request for the night.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yes,
that's an awesome. Everybody loves a good tomato paste story.
Yes. Yeah. And it pops up, whenever if I'm in Tennessee, we go to parties, they'll say, "Hey, tell them one about the tomato paste." Okay, that's my Steve Farrell impression for people who know Steve. So we have talked about that. My
Oh no!
I've got a cousin who passed away a few years ago, and his wife. Yeah. She still follows me on Facebook. Yeah. She wants to know can people in Indiana hear this?
She wants to know can people in
Deborah,
Indiana hear?
Yes, people in Indiana can hear this.
I don't know. I mean, maybe can we block it from Indiana?
I don't know.
Is she in Indiana?
Yeah. That's why she wants to know.
Yeah.
She's interested. She's one of the 4 people who plan on listening to this. Mike. You should be a little nicer to our fan base.
Okay, here's the thing. We're gonna have to do this for like 3 years before anybody really listens beyond the original 10.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I think with the enormous success of how well this has gone tonight, there's going to be people going, I cannot wait for the one next week.
Well, here's the deal.
Okay.
The jerk in me wants to block it from Indiana, but I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
So I guess she can hear it in Indiana.
Okay.
But when we get really good at this,
Right.
we get a question like that.
Right.
Can I hear this in Botswana? No.
No, you cannot.
We'll code it so you cannot get it.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well then, okay, and I've got one more request. You want to hear another request?
I want to hear another.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You're a smart guy. You may be one of the smartest people I know. You're a chemical engineer.
Yeah.
You okay? Let's back up.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago,
I feel like I'm being set up.
No. Cameron, my youngest son, had a math problem.
Yeah.
And I could not figure it out.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I could not figure this math problem out. And then Libby, who's the smart one in the house, she couldn't figure it out. We're like, what? Couldn't figure out what to do.
Could she really not figure it out?
We couldn't figure it out.
Put up with your crap. Okay.
No. We're like, you know, she graduated with a 3.94. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So we cannot figure out this math problem, and this is third grade math.
Yeah.
And so we email you, Mike, what's going on with this? And hang on a second. Let me go. You sent this text or whatever, 4 whole pages of the coefficient of X is lesser than or equal to Y, plus sub-0 9, the symbol for boron. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that didn't make any sense to us either. Anyway, so you're the smartest person I know.
Yeah.
So here's the question. I used to work with a guy named Carl. And Carl, this is what Carl believed.
Okay.
Mike, if you're going on a trip that says, let's say your trip without driving, if you go straight through, is 6 hours.
Okay.
If you stop,
without driving,
without stopping,
if
you drive straight through, this trip will take 6 hours. Okay. Let's say you stopped for an hour.
Yeah.
How long does this trip take now?
6 hours actual traveling time, but you'll get there 7 hours after you leave, right?
Wrong. It takes you 8 hours.
Okay.
My friend Carl was convinced that it takes you an hour that you stopped, and then there's an hour to catch up to where you had been had you not stopped. No. This was our chief engineer at my first TV station.
Yeah.
Chief engineer.
Yeah.
Colorblind, no depth perception.
Yeah.
In charge of engineering at a TV station.
That's why all the chapters in the math books about how to figure that out are in the different colors, and they probably couldn't see it.
Yep. And speaking of Indiana, every time he found out that I was from Indiana, they got no.
Are we going the voices this? I guess we're almost an hour in. Here we go.
Trying to do Carl's
Here we go.
They ain't got daylight savings time in Indiana.
I tell you. What is it?
Well, they do in a few places. No, they don't. Okay, Carl, they don't. There's no point in arguing with them.
Yeah. You don't want to argue with somebody like that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well,
Ed Jones, that's for you.
So I want to say something about the new math. I can't believe we're here. 53 minutes in, we're going to talk about the new math. Just briefly.
Okay.
I like it. With the Common Core thing.
That sounds just like you.
I do. I like it because it's how you do. It's how I do it in my head.
Okay.
And I don't run around doing math in my head all the time. As a matter of fact, if somebody asks me, what's 10% of something, I'll spend more time trying to find the calculator app on the phone than you just move the decimal point over it. Yeah.
Anything else?
It was a bad example.
Okay, yeah.
But when you go through the little Common Core math thing with the little matrix and stuff, that's kind of how I do it in my head if I'm doing a thing. And then the question comes up, well, who does this stuff in their head?
Right.
You'd be surprised how many times I'm in a meeting and a math thing like that comes up, and the most impressive person in the room is the one that doesn't get their calculator, doesn't grab a pencil, just stare it's like
you're like, ooh,
good to bad.
Ooh, Mr. Smith, it's 408.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like an alpha thing. It's not alpha male, it's alpha female, alpha anybody that does that is like suddenly.
I didn't get it at first, and I was talking to one of my son's teachers, and he was telling us that just like you said, the reason is so that kids can easier conceptualize it. And I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so there's
to a point.
Yeah. So there's a theory. I forget the name of this theory. This would be the science section of the podcast.
We are now in the science section.
There's a theory, and it's been one of these YouTube deep dives that I know you enjoy when I come to you with a YouTube deep dive that I've gone on. That's where the flat Earth has come from.
Oh God, you got me hooked on flat Earth
and all that stuff. But this is similar.
The moon is flat too, by the way.
It is. It has to be. It was. They took some apes.
Yes.
All right. And they showed them these methods of remembering patterns and mathematical patterns.
Right.
And they were able to memorize these patterns way beyond anything that humans could. And I know I'm butchering this because it's been a while since I've seen this video. But the theory is that language, that we're kind of restrained by the fact that we use language to think. Like you think in sentences a lot of times, when you're not talking to yourself, or even when you are talking to yourself,
right? You're
thinking in sentences, you're thinking in language. But if you didn't have that takes a lot of your processing power, a lot of your brain power. If that wasn't there, then it could be used in other areas. And they were saying the theory is that these apes don't have to use their brains for the language, so they use it for the pure math once they learn that. So that's what they were just blowing people away. I wish I could remember the name of this theory. There's a whole video on it.
Okay.
It's really only good if you watch it at 2 a.m, like I do. That's when it's really fascinating. You're sitting there unshaven with the front of your shirt covered in Cheeto dust.
Right. Your robe open.
Watching a chimpanzee do like the most ungodly calculus tasks. Known to human.
I'm guilty of hitting YouTube in the middle. If I can't sleep, I just get up, I go on YouTube. And I have found all kinds of new musical acts that I never knew.
I'm glad there wasn't a duh on the end of that new.
No. I've discovered new music acts, and but I've also started watching Bob Ross again. I'm like, I'm going to put on a Bob Ross, and that'll put me to sleep, and I'll be damned if I'm not fascinated and sucked in. And I've watched 3 episodes, right? And I'm still not tired.
Yeah.
And you'd think that, the happy little trees and the pretty little clouds would have lulled me, but no, I'm just watching like he's going to screw this one up, and he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what you're watching for. You're watching for a Bob Ross to hit the wall.
I just keep watching him, thinking, this is going to be. He's got to have a bad one here.
Yeah.
No.
Just break the brush. Slam it down. Smack the canvas off and call the cameraman a dirty something or other.
Yeah. Bob Ross too hot for TV. yeah. But no, he never does it, and then here I am. I'm still not tired.
Yeah.
And it happens. I don't know what it is. It happens like once every couple of weeks. I go to bed tired. I can't sleep. I'm like, okay, I was exhausted when I laid down. But I think what I'll do is next time I'll just listen to this podcast.
You haven't had your Bob Ross yet. You haven't had your Bob Ross yet.
Right.
And I wouldn't recommend listening to this podcast as you're falling asleep, because God knows what kind of dreams you're going to have from this thing. I mean, this could get ridiculous.
I have weird enough dreams as it is, which is the topic for next week, I guess. So what do you think? Are we going to do one next week?
We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep doing this.
Okay.
Because the first ones are supposed to not be that good. I think this one was decent.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah. I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't call it dope.
That's just me. That's just me trying to be a swinging guy. Can I say swinging?
I think
that means something else.
You're hip. You're cool.
You're swinging.
You're the bee's knees, Mike.
Oh my God!
You've got it going on, man.
I can't believe this is. Is this the end? Did we? Because we said we were going to do an hour.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're
59 minutes, but we spent like the first 2 or 3 minutes.
I don't know if it goes over. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
See if they can stop us. I dare you to come and try and tell us to make this a certain time. Can
we pause it right and get another one of these shindigs?
Yeah, we sure. I guess we can. Yeah,
because I am getting parched here. I think I'm gonna push stop. And we're. Oh my God, we're back. And to the listener, we never left. So that's a really weird. That's a really weird comment.
Smooth, Mike. Smooth, Mike. Smooth. So yeah. Well, what did you think? I I had a good time. And 3, 2, 1, cue. And we're back.
Yes. We're back again.
Okay, so for the people at home or at their desk or wherever you are listening to this, we took a break.
Mm-hmm.
We paused. We got another beer. Mike took a phone call. It was an awkward phone call.
Put me in a really weird mood.
And now we're back and we're trying to happily.
Yeah, the atmosphere is all funky now.
We're trying to wrap this up.
We went from laughing and then
got great.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we got to end this thing.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, but
everybody, check us out next time. Oh God. Ugh.
But we hit about an hour.
Yeah.
Nobody's counting, but the program that I'm using has this huge. It's a really intimidating clock. It's just like just counting down or counting up. So yeah, we hit an hour. This seemed about right. For us, but I don't know. Maybe next time we'll see. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna do it again.
Well, yeah, I hope so. I think I had a good time.
Weekly, I had a good time.
Yeah. But so if you're out there listening, let us know what you think. Drop us a comment, send us an email, give us a call or a text. I mean, people who are listening to this pretty much know us. So let us know what you think. If there's other stories you want to hear, if there's other topics you want us to discuss. We can talk about flat Earth or global warming or dry carpet cleaning. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and please do, because there's a Rubik's Cube in here.
Because that's my backup plan.
Okay, I'm going to tell them what your backup plan is.
Go ahead. If we run out of things to talk about,
he's going to make me watch him solve a Rubik's Cube and describe it.
So that's our backup plan.
Now, if you are the type of person that is going to go on a crusade to make everyone not comment so that will have to happen because you want to see it happen.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to see anything because it's a podcast.
That's right.
It's audio only.
Yeah.
Right.
Boy, we should have ended this like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, boy. Wow.
All right.
It was going great, and then just like the Titanic, the last bit just went right under the water.
It's always the last bit that gets you. Okay, so all right, we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Boom.
Take care, everybody.
Boom.
Take care, everybody.
Boom.
Take care, everybody.
Boom.
Take care, everybody.
Boom.